My name's Colin West. While traveling this world's wine regions, I've now landed in New Zealand, where I'm meeting up with a local Kiwi girl, Jo Hawley, and a film crew, and we're going through the country's top wine regions to check out the natural beauty, the adventure sports, and the wine. The WINERAM Experience. It's the way I'm spreading my passion of wine to the world.
The North Island, finally we got our award-winning director Hollywood, James Holman, back with us, and we took off to go over to the Wairarapa, or the Martinborough region, where they were known for big game hunting. This was an interesting episode because later on we figure out it's probably not good to show kill shots and things, as this show that we were developing really went in an ulterior direction. It was an amazing episode though. We got to really get out and spend 3 or 4 days, and it was the one that probably felt the most documentary filming side. And we got to do it just filming all the B-roll while we were out there, and then getting in and getting some interviews done about the experience that we had. And the episode was fantastic.
We woke up this morning and we were about to go on an adventure, and I looked over at Colin and I was like, dude, that's one big pigsty in your eye.
Waking up and I was starting to worry because my eye was hurting. I didn't know why, and it's because I was playing with too many deer hearts yesterday and I was rubbing the blood in my eye on accident, and now I've got a piss on my eye.
The old Māori tradition of what we do back home in Gisborne is we get urine or a gold ring and rub it on your eye. Not in your eye, on your eye. So there you go, piss in your hand and then wipe it on your eye. Go over there and do it. We don't want to see this part. So it's taken him a lot of convincing to actually do this. It's been probably about half an hour up in the bush with him coming over to me and saying, are you serious? Is this one of your jokes again? And I've finally convinced him that this is the thing to do. Although no one else here has ever heard of it before.
Shit.
But I can guarantee when we go to Gisborne, I can...
I'm gonna pee in my hand.
Gross, he's peeing in his hand. More.
It stinks.
Dribble it. Let it dribble down your face.
This is disgusting.
Okay, more. 2 finger it. 2 fingers. Like, get it on there. Seriously, you need to soak it in it. No, that's neck level.
And after we had this big game and wildlife experience in the Martinborough region and drank some really great wine, which Martinborough gave us a fantastic Pinot, we took off and we went to Gisborne and Hawke's Bay and got a film with a guy who I had initially read about in a book. And so for me, he was a bit of a wine celebrity. So after we met up with John from Trinity Hill, we got to take off and go up for the activity in Gisborne, which is Joe's hometown, where initially we were supposed to do a great white shark cage diving episode, but the weather was bad and we couldn't do the shark cage diving that we had planned. And so all of our contingency activities were water-based. And so I was sat there in the hotel room the last night, no idea what to do, didn't have the production logistics worked out yet, and finally I had thought, hang on, there's lots of farms around here, let's go do a sheep shearing episode. Now the shearing was absolutely boring in the episode, however, the guy who ran the farm told me to go off and try and get the sheep that I wanted to shear. So that's when you got to see me in full white clothing, running around a farm trying to capture the sheep, and well, you know, it was funny on the episode, but it was even more funny in real life, and so it ended up being a bit of a godsend and added a comical character to the show. And our season finale was back up in Auckland, an area where Joe had been living and I had even spent 3 or 4 months. And so there was some element of feeling like we were home. I had learned my lesson about producing at that point, and that it's all about working out the logistics from every single point. And so I wanted the last episode to go without any flaws. And so I had spent the time and worked it out and had everything. We had a plane company flying us into the island, ferry companies on board, taxis picking us up from the airport, and everything we needed. And we got in there and we're staying at a resort on Waiheke Island, and I had finally felt like the show was coming to an end. Rupert and I went down to the beach, played a bit of ukulele, hung out and drank some wine. I drank too much wine. And then the next day we were going scuba diving and I was a bit hungover.
Going diving, should be good fun. Colin may drown, which could be exciting.
So freaking funny. I'm already nervous enough.
They've been drinking wine.
And Joe had to actually console me in the water before we were going, and I was having a bit of anxiety, and nervous about getting under the water and scuba diving again because it had been so long. But I pulled through, got underwater, fell back in love with scuba diving, and we had an amazing time out on the sailboat with those guys. And overall, ended the show, you know, waved goodbye to Joe at that point, and then I based myself in Auckland for a month and worked on post-production and carried on to where we are today. And the WINERAM experience was something that we all believed in, and we had a crew that knew it was something they were willing to sacrifice their time and lives towards, and it was worth every penny and more because we didn't know what it would turn in today, and that I've now got to meet 20 to 30 people who have all been part of WINERAM 2 years down the road, and it's creating experience and lifestyles for people that never would have imagined meeting. And so it's been a journey, and we've got so much more. We've already done season 2 and filmed most of that at this point, and we've got many, many more shows to come.
Rupert.
Yes.
Critchley, how has the WINERAM experience experienced yourself?
I'd say this trip has been a success. I mean, obviously we've had our problems and hiccups along the way, but I mean, what the production doesn't.
Overall, really, the trip's gone, yeah, it's been difficult at times, but it's been extremely fun at others. And like, we've all worked together and we've stuck it out, and we've gotten it done, and we built something amazing. The wine industry the wine industry doesn't know what's coming to them. Yeah.
Time I smile. Why do I bother getting up? I don't know, but I like to try. I guess that we are friends again. We swan around 'cause we're a team. Always was